If you drive just outside Elon University's brick walls, you'll find country roads, expansive farmland, and the sheriff's prison farm.
They came to me one day in the Guilford County Jail and said, "You want to go to the farm?" I said, "Yeah." So I ended up here.
What made you make that decision? What was so appealing about coming out here?
Then coming here, it was like, wow, I stood outside for 4 hours, I believe, and just getting that fresh burning wood smell and listening to the cows, and it was pretty ominous.
The sheriff's prison farm is a dream for an inmate like David Perry. It's a sentence with connection to the world and rehabilitation programs that teach valuable skills. It's also the last of its kind in North Carolina, an endangered form of detainment. But it's the inmate's choice for more freedom. Monitored freedom, that is.
They like being down here for that reason. They're not in a square box all day, 4 walls to look at, nothing to do. Makes them happy, makes us happy, so have very few problems.
We got to talk with David Perry, who was a restaurant manager before he was arrested. Now he's the chef for the facility. 207 inmates pick their work placement. That means manual labor to learn a specific skill, growing plants and vegetables in the greenhouse, fixing up farm equipment in the auto shop, tending to the animals out on the farm, or, in David's case,
Carpentry. Never thought in a million years I would ever do that.
What did you learn about yourself?
A lot of these people, they come and go, but they never really reflect on what happened to them and why they're there and what they're going to do about it. Most of the guys, they don't want to change.
But you do?
Of course. It's the first time I've ever been in a situation like this, and I don't want to get to the point where, because of, a bottle of whiskey, I can't control myself.
a bottle that landed him in jail for this 6-month sentence. David says he had a long day at work and too much to drink and got into an argument with his wife. He went on to tell us what happened that night.
So she wanted something she could nurture while I was at work, so I got her a kitten. We had it for about a week. Of course, by that time I was so inebriated, I was stumbling around, looking like a total fool, but nobody else was there, thank God. Anyway, I stumbled backwards and stepped on the kitten. I'm 210 pounds. And then by the time the cops got there, they responded to a domestic dispute. I let them in. Of course, my wife said I killed the cat without having a chance to explain. I was arrested for animal cruelty.
Instead of having a trial, he pled guilty and decided to take his sentence here, where he could get help for his alcoholism from officers like Joe Bishop.
It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people. They made bad choices a number of times.
The inmates count themselves lucky to get the rehabilitation they need in an environment where they're comfortable. But they're not alone in appreciating this place. The officers tell us the sense of escape from prison life felt here is why they fought so hard for this job.
I don't know. There's nothing really that I'd rather be doing unless I was, I play golf, a professional golfer, which I ain't gonna make it that way. So I'm happy with this right here.
Sergeant Bill Ledford has been at the prison farm just 1 year, but told us it was a miracle a job was even open, because people don't want to leave once they've worked here. The officers count themselves lucky to be outside the role of a warden and become teachers instead.
Like the auto shop we got there where people learn how to change oil and do tires on cars and stuff. Several of them said that they're going to garages and they're real interested in that.
We feed cows out in the pasture, and inmates love little cows, little calves, and they bottle feed them. And it's quite interesting to find somebody like that.
I went and fed the cows a couple times. Isn't that funny? Charged with animal cruelty, feeding the cows.
He jokes about it now, but David told us his work has taught him to take responsibility.
But I realized what I was doing and that I needed to change.
And so has this place helped you do that?
Yeah.
This is a place the officers and inmates work hard to get into. Now they're working even harder to maintain it.
We're looking at, we're having a hard time right now trying to keep this place here. So even though all the good things we do, a financial aspect of it, might be the nail in our coffin.
It's been around since 1935, and the inmates built it from the ground up, literally taking stones from the more than 800 acres to build the stronghold that stands here today. Now, Sergeant Ledford says the county commissioners might shut down the last place inmates like David can learn to change themselves outside their cells.
They're building a new jail in Greensboro, and they're going to need additional officers and stuff up there, so they're looking very hard whether we still in existence or not.
Selling plants from the greenhouse, woodworking projects, and making concrete tiles bring in nearly $200,000 a year in revenue for the farm.
People coming in all the time saying, I never knew this place was here. I never knew inmates grew these flowers, and they all think it's neat too. And then we get a customer and they come back year after year.
Now, the officers say they're worried the history and unique work programs may not be enough to keep this place running.
We just do what we do with them, and hopefully we get them on the right paths. We just go day by day.